Hello, my name's Rod Karch with Leuze. Today I wanted to go over how to configure fields. We have a couple different ways of doing it for our safety laser scanner. One of the ways is with the built-in tools, as you can see up here above the actual configuration area. The second way is to import configurations in a certain format via XL. So that's the second way to do it. So I know that from my understanding, it sounds like Target is interested in utilizing, Swisslog / for the Target application are looking at importing via XL, and that's easy enough to do. But I did want to show you both ways just to maybe for ease. I don't know which way is going to be easier or more convenient, but typically we have a couple different fields that we can create, protective field or warning field. They're both created the same way. There might be more limitations on the range of the protective field. Max range for our scanner is 8.25 meter. Whereas for the warning field, we can do much further. We can, since it is non-safe, we can go up to 20 meters. So, but the tools are relatively simple. We have here we can define with a polygon, an elliptical field, a rectangular field, and or we can hide field segments. A lot of times I like to create something simple and then I can modify it. So create an elliptical. I can use the polygon to modify the field if I can click on it properly. Fairly easily. I can cut chunks out of it. I can add chunks to it depending on what polygon shape that I want. It's easy to manipulate. We can additionally, as you notice, all of these points are created wherever I cut into the field using the polygon. I can actually manipulate and move those and delete those as I desire with these with this tool right here. I can paste new points in. I can move them. So if I want something to be pretty specific, I can move it over to a point, say, in this case, 3,000 millimeter on the X coordinate and 1,000 on the, 3,000 on the Y coordinate and 1,000 on the X coordinate. I can do that. So anyway, that's something that's easy to do. I can delete the entire field out and start again. So these are all pretty easy tools to utilize. As I had said, we've got some other tools in here that allow us to cut the fields, mirror fields. So Leuze has put a pretty nice development suite for the fields in place. A lot of times when I'm in the actually out in the maybe at a plant doing configuration, I'll set up cardboard boxes at the points that I want potentially to create the area, the protective field, and or I have somebody stand at the edge, and when the unit's live, you can see exactly where somebody's standing, and I'll use them as sort of a chess piece, or use a card or whatever else to set these fields up. So that's another way to do this when the unit's live. If you want more information on how to do this, I'd be happy to go over it with you. But ultimately, this is pretty simple once you learn the different, the actual tools that we have. So this is a way of cutting different areas. So I can cut the left, right, the back area, the front edge. I can cut all these. So say I wanted to do 180, I wanted 180 degree scanning range. I'd basically set this back area at 0. And now just the front area is where I'm going to be scanning. So anything back here we would scan as well, but it's not going to be reported because because the protective field that I set up. So if I were to display no endpoints, that's what it would look like if I'm going to display some endpoints. And the reason I'm showing this to you, you'll understand when I go to export them, is because these are, and if you notice, there's a lot of endpoints up here because I did a trim function. But what I can do is when I export this, you'll see what that format looks like for this protective field. So this is the other option we have, which is define field numerically. So I've got a lot of fields in here, and the reason why is because I cut that that original field, and it basically gave me a lot of endpoints. So let me delete this out. I'm going to try again with just a square or rectangular field. Do something small. There we go. Now, without me cutting it, I've got just 4 actual points on this square, or of this polygon. So if I look at it numerically, these are the points that I have. This is how the information we'd put into the Excel sheet if we were to create this protected field for your application. So for instance, if I hit the export, I'll export this into protective field. Sorry, I can't type today. Sample. And then when I look at that field or that actual export, this is the format that we would have to follow right here. So we'd have the angle, semicolon distance, semicolon x coordinate, semicolon y coordinate. So that's those 4 points that we see in this configuration, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it. So when we import those points in this Excel file, this is what we'll get for that protective field. And I can show you how to do that right now. So let me delete this out again. I'm going to go to, I'm on the protective field, and I want to go to this numeric entry. I'm going to import this Excel file right here. Oh, I'm sorry, it's being used by another. I still have it open. Let me exit and close that file out. My bad. I'll exit out of that as well. So once I go to the software again, I'll import that file, and there it is. And it creates exactly what we had before. So we can do this both with protective field as well as warning field. So if I import that same file or another one, I have another configuration in here. I'm going to import another field that I have, a warning field. It's sort of a complex field. I just imported that, and that added it into the actual configuration for a 1.1. And then obviously we can have many different configurations of protective and warning fields that we can utilize in the Leuze Profinet safety scanner. So it's really that easy. I'd be happy to provide the format, but as you can see, you can easily get that format from the actual software itself. If you just export it, it'll give it to you, but that's fairly easy. It even tells you the information up here. You can set these up in the software if you want to do that. You can actually set up the various points on the software. It's obviously, if you got the hang of it, it's obviously easier just to do one in Excel and import the information as well. So if you have any questions, I'd be happy to obviously do a Teams meeting, answer any questions you might have during that Teams meeting. Additionally, if we need support from Germany, we can get our experts from Germany for Profinet and also the RSL safety laser scanner set up meetings and support you however is needed. So hopefully this has been informational. And again, my name is Rod Karch with Leuze, and I appreciate your time and consideration. Thank you.